up guys, Ben here, welcome to another video on my channel, FilmFanatic, and yes, it is the second upload of the week because if you do follow me on Twitter, if not, there it is there. I tweeted out that I want to start uploading twice a week on my channel because I'm off school and I don't have any exams and it's coming up to the summer holidays. I want to start, uploading more consistently on this channel and get more videos out a week. So I'm going to start hopefully uploading twice a week, hopefully Sunday and Wednesday, so hopefully this will be out on Wednesday. Fingers crossed, if not, sorry about that. But today's video we are counting down the top 5 movies coming out this month. So obviously I'm not counting the movies that have already been released, so ignore them. These are the movies that to this date have not been yet released but are highly anticipated. I must stress they are not in an order of top 5, so the last on my list is not number 1, the first of it is not number 5. These are just what I believe to be the most anticipated movies. So starting off on the 10th of June we have The Conjuring 2. Following the characters of Lorraine and Ed Warren, the couple travel to London to fight malicious spirits terrorising a single mother of 4. Reuniting Insidious partnership, James Wan, director, and Patrick Wilson, actor, they have a pretty good working relationship. I mean, the first 2 Insidious that Patrick Wilson was part of were very successful and what I still regard to be one of the most terrifying and best horror movies of the past 20 years. I just believe that. And so after the success of the Insidious trilogy and the success of the first Conjuring, it's not hard to believe they made a second. And from the trailers released and the posters, this looks like a pretty terrifying movie. I've seen other film reviewers discuss this and people who are much bigger fans of horror than I am, and they are super psyched for it. And even as me, not a massive horror fan, I'm still pretty pumped to see it. Also being released on the 10th of June is Warcraft. Warcraft, one of the movies that people have heard quite a lot about recently because obviously it's based on the game World of Warcraft. Although it's one of those movie games that doesn't necessarily follow the same criteria as the game itself. And the game doesn't necessarily have a commanding storyline which games like The Last of Us or Heavy Rain have and they're discussing live action movies for them. This they had to adapt. And by the looks of it, by the looks of the trailers and the posters and all the hype it's getting, it looks like they've done a pretty decent job. Now I'm not a massive fan of the Warcraft game, so I was a bit hesitant whether to actually talk about it in the video because I don't necessarily know that much about it, so please don't crucify me if I get something wrong. I can see that it's aimed at teenagers and young adults, although I think it's one of the things that maybe even a kid could enjoy with the orcs having to team up with the humans. It looks like it could be a pretty enjoyable movie for all ages. So if you're a fan of the game or maybe you just like fantasy movies, I would definitely check out Warcraft. Next up, being released on the 17th of June, is Central Intelligence. I don't know if any of you guys have had the experience I have where the only way you hear from a movie is if someone shares the trailer on Facebook. I don't know if it's just me, but I get that a lot. There'll be a movie coming out with a pretty decent cast that I never even heard of until it's released, unless somebody shares the trailer on their Facebook page, and that's the only way I've seen it, and that's what happened with Central Intelligence. Even though I followed Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson and Kevin Hart on Twitter, for some reason I totally missed the fact they were teaming up and doing the Central Intelligence movie until I seen it on my Facebook wall, and I thought, oh, this actually looks like a pretty decent movie. And then I went and looked it up and did some more research and watched more trailers, and looked at some posters, and it looks like it's going to be pretty hilarious. Now Kevin Hart has been the star of quite a lot of really good comedy movies recently, and so it's not a surprise that another one's coming along. Now obviously Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, once famous wrestler, now a pretty well known actor, he is really turning his career into something manageable. Now what I mean by that is he's giving himself a kind of range of acting. Yes, he's not necessarily the best actor, but he's giving himself a range. I mean, he did San Andreas, the disaster movie, and he's done loads of comedies, and he's planning more comedies in the future. This guy is actually a really good actor. Actor in a comedy sense, he's not going to be winning any Oscars. For example, The Other Guys was pretty goddamn hilarious. He's talking about doing a remake of Jumanji along with Kevin Hart again, and now this. He is turning into a really good comedy actor. Now, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson's character was once an obese high school kid getting bullied by pretty much everybody, and then when he's older, he turns into one of the best government agents, and he has to team up with his old friend in high school, Kevin Hart, who's now a computer whiz, and he has to help him take down bad guys. Now, as most comedy action movies, it's not the best storyline. You've seen it before, the unlikely duo, the unlikely partnership once again. However, it looks really funny. There's a really good shower scene, it sounds weird saying that, where Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson's face is CGI'd onto a obese person's body. It looks really funny. If you haven't seen the trailer, I'll link it below. You should definitely go check it out. It looks like it's going to be a really good Kevin Hart movie, and I would definitely recommend seeing it. Skipping forward now to the 24th of June, and it is Independence Day Resurgence. Now, the reason I put it on this list is not because it's getting massive hype around the world. I mean, nobody's, sharing it on their Facebook or tweeting, oh my god, I'm so excited for the new Independence Day. The reason it's on here is because it's picked up a little bit of controversy. I mean, the first Independence Day with Will Smith was arguably one of the best movies Will Smith's done. It may not necessarily be his Oscar-winning performance, however, it's very enjoyable and it's definitely one of the most exciting sci-fi movies there's been. When this one was announced, everyone was surprised to see that Will Smith wasn't actually involved. Then everyone got nervous. Would they be able to do it? Would everyone just be watching the movie and thinking, God, I wish Will Smith was in this, or oh no, where's Will Smith, or what was happening? But from the trailer, it looks like they're actually doing a really good job. They're not focusing so much on the fact that we have no Will Smith in it. In fact, they've got a little bit of nostalgia with bringing back Jeff Goldblum's character who was in the first one. However, they're doing a really good job with what I see in the trailer, with tying it in with the original by saying, we are aware of what happened in the first one, we know this, we have prepared ourselves by that, we have seen this and we have prepared ourselves as humans to fight aliens once again, and so when they come, we are ready and we are prepared. However, this time, they're quite a bit bigger. This time they are back in their hundreds and thousands attacking Earth, and it is once again the Earth who must defend itself and stand tall against the aliens. For about the 100th time in movies. But either way, the movie looks really enjoyable, looks going to be an actually pretty good, decent sci-fi movie. It will probably take quite a lot at the box office because it obviously has Independence Day and Independence Day. Good one. Independence Day in the title. However, I do think it will be an enjoyable movie. Maybe not necessarily one I'm going to queue for at midnight for a midnight release. However, I will probably buy it in DVD when it comes out, because I'm that kind of guy. Now, skipping back to the 17th of June, we have arguably the most anticipated movie of the last 2 years since it was being released, and it is, of course, Finding Dory. Now, obviously Dory was arguably the best thing about the Finding Nemo, voiced by Ellen DeGeneres, the much loved American talk show host and comedian. She is back once again donning the fins. Does that make sense? But at this time, Dory is in search for her family. She suddenly has a memory that she has a family somewhere out there in the ocean, and it's up to her to go on a mad road trip, would you call it? A mad sea trip. A mad sea trip across the ocean to find her parents. It looks like it's going to be a lovable movie for both kids who are just coming into the franchise and just becoming aware of Finding Nemo, and for the teenagers and adults who grew up watching Finding Nemo and loved it very much. And so I think it's going to be the most successful movie of the summer. I really do think that. It's not going to overtake things like Captain America, I would say, or anything like that, but it is going to be one of the most successful movies this year. Because the theatres are going to be packed with parents taking their kids to see the movie, and they'll say, oh, you know, it's my kid's birthday, I'm going to go take them to see Finding Dory. But in all reality, they're going for them, and don't kid yourself, you are going for yourself, because you really want to see Finding Dory, and so do I. And that is my list. Did I miss any out? Let me know in the comment section down below. I do love to hear from you guys. If you enjoyed this kind of video and you maybe want to see more monthly movies like this, go ahead and hit like button down below. It really does help my channel out. And don't forget to hit subscribe while you're down there to never miss another video on my channel. And I'll see you next time, guys. Take care.